Next up, at UFC 312, we have Colby Thicknesse taking on Aleksandre Topuria. This is the talk of the town, mostly because people just invented their own plot lines. People are talking about how Colby's going to be cornered by Alexander Volkanovski, and obviously Aleksandre Topuria is Ilia Topuria's little brother, or actually older brother. So people were like, oh my God, they're going to be cornering against each other. It's going to be wild, bro. And Ilia basically, when they interviewed him, was like, yeah, it's cool. And that's the end of it. And that's what it should be. Who cares who's cornering each other? Fight-wise, it could be a pretty fun fight. Aleksandre Topuria was already on this card. His original opponent dropped, so Colby is the one stepping up on short notice. He is undefeated at 7-0.
The weird part is it's only a one-fight contract for him, which seems pretty weird.
For Colby or Topuria?
For Colby.
That is weird. What a slap in the face. Steps up on short notice, then usually you're guaranteed 2 fights. How do you know that? They said that?
He said
somewhere? That. Oh, yeah, that is weird. Usually the UFC, you step up on short notice, they'll take care of you. Damn. Poor Colby. Well, he is undefeated in his career. He is making his short notice UFC debut, taking on the older brother of Ilia Topuria, Aleksandre Topuria. He is 5-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. We'll start on the Colby side. Colby's pretty well-rounded. He is notably one of Alex Volkanovski's training partners. He's mostly a grappler. He'll use the striking to close distance. He'll move to a clinch. He'll try to get you to the cage, working a takedown. Striking is very loose, where he's got low hands. He bounces around. He can bring some power because of how he just leaps in and throws heavy. But he is pretty wide. He is pretty hittable. Overall, solid fighter with better grappling than striking. Aleksandre Topuria is kind of the talk of the town here. He is Ilia Topuria's older brother. They look alike. They kind of fight alike. Like Ilia, he's been wrestling his entire life since he was a small child. Striking-wise, he's got powerful strikes, creative strikes, lots of spinning attacks. He'll come bombing in. He's not afraid to get in the pocket and just absolutely light something on fire. He's not as technical as you would expect him to be with that last name, but he does have some very real power, and at times the technique can be clean. He's a high-paced guy. He does fight with his chip on his shoulder. He's pretty angry at everything. You're going to see the one loss. That was almost 10 years ago. He's very inactive. That was almost 10 years ago, and it was up 20 pounds in weight, so 2 weight classes. This is a fun matchup. There's some random plot lines built into it. I do not think this should be on a pay-per-view. I honestly think this would have been a perfect Contender Series main event. Fun little plot lines, do some personality pieces on the 2 guys and build it up that way. But the reality is we get what we get, and we can't throw a fit. Ilia is a good-sized favorite here, minus 370. I'm surprised he's not a bigger favorite. It might just be because of like the inactivity and the layoffs at times. But Aleksandre is the more talented guy. Aleksandre is the more powerful guy. He's the more dangerous guy. He has more ways to win. I think Aleksandre Topuria runs through. Colby's best thing is wrestling. He's not going to be a better wrestler here. So Aleksandre Topuria is the very confident pick here. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, people, and they've already just been like spamming like crazy. Like the record of opponent that Topuria has faced and blah, blah, blah. And he's always like 19-40 or something like that. You can tell the guy's good. Like, I don't give a fuck about who he's faced. You can tell when you watch the guy that he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's not some, like, sloppy guy that's in there just fighting these bums, like, barely winning, or just, like, you can tell this guy's a very skilled guy. He is the better fighter here. He's better on the feet. He's a better wrestler. But sometimes just being the better fighter doesn't win you the fight. And if Topuria comes in and just assumes that he's just going to smoke this guy, things could get pretty fucking interesting, because Colby is a tough son of a bitch that can be pretty relentless. When you watch him, his entries aren't great, his striking isn't great, but he's pretty fucking relentless, and he will just keep shooting these kind of okay takedowns until he can kind of grab an ankle and throw a leg over, and then all of a sudden he's on your back. So if Topuria comes in and is just almost like an Isaac Dolgarian, right? This could look like and I don't think it will, and I'm picking Topuria. But just off the top of my head, this could be like an Isaac Dolgarian C-Rod situation. If Topuria comes in, just assumes he's going to smoke the guy, has all sorts of success, Colby all of a sudden is just surviving, and then in front of the home fans, he's making some rallies in the second and third round. That's, I think, why he's not minus 500, minus 600. He started getting that way, and I think people started pushing it back because this guy Colby, he knows what he's doing as well, and he can be pretty fucking relentless. So I am going Topuria here because he is the better fighter, but sometimes being the better fighter just isn't enough sometimes, and we'll find out if he, has adversity a little bit, how he's going to fucking react, because he could have some adversity against this guy Colby. So I'm going Topuria.
Yeah, I don't disagree with he could blow it, right? If you look at that one loss, it was 10 years ago, so God knows what he's like now. He actually looked good in that loss. I mean, he was fighting his ass off. He was just literally too small, and he did get tired, but he didn't quit. You know what I mean? He was just literally too small to be bullying a dude 20-something pounds heavier than him, and he was 19 years old. But it was interesting to watch that fight. I like watching fighters with a loss because the loss helps you out, but when it's 10 years ago, it's tricky. I do like the odds here. I obviously have the DraftKings pricing switch, $9,300 for Topuria, $69 for Colby. If you think Topuria goes in there, lights this dude up, tosses him around, finishes him, that $9,300 is money well spent. But to Jacob's point, Colby's tough. He's durable. He's had a good team. He's had good training partners. He's not some random bum off the streets. All of a sudden, we might get a decision here that doesn't score really well. And just a little factoid, Topuria's original opponent was the favorite. So the bookies just a week ago thought Topuria was going to lose his matchup. Then he gets a last-minute guy, and things obviously changed. But it's not as if the world thinks he's his brother. You can unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, the breakdowns, the brand new fight simulator that simulates fights 100,000 times and gives you the outcomes, and it does so with all of the inputs like betting odds, DraftKings salaries, biometrics, fight history, and all of that. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's $10 for an entire month. Couple Super Chatterooskies. We have $8.99 New Zealand from BetSam. Jacob, you're looking very handsome today. We missed you. Handshake, whatever that emoji is. Thank you, BetSam. You don't need to send Super Chats. You work here now. And Jacob Garcia, $1.99. Keep up the grind, brothers. Appreciate you, Jacob.